Alright, so I've wrapped 3 different ways. 2 of them are the same design, 1 is a different design. So this is exactly how I had it last night. Like I said, I'm going to try it with just the change in pressure. And then I did shrink wrap on this one. I've had an issue with the shrink wrap. Usually I bake in an air fryer and it's been sticking to the bottom and I have not been able to get it off. I've tried reheating it. I've tried cooling it. Nothing works. So we're going to see how it works in this. I'm also going to put a blowout sheet over this to ensure that if this melts, it doesn't ruin the new press plate. And then I did masking tape. This is not a favorite of mine. I still use heat tape underneath it, but I did wrap it in the masking tape to see if it'll catch any air gaps, pretty much just like the shrink wrap and stuff does. And I'm going to do these exactly the same way. I haven't tried doing it where I am not rotating it. So as of right now, I'm going to try it like this and see how that works, and we're going to go from there. As I said, it really does smell. So I have the door open that's probably 3 feet from this press. So you'll see that it's going to fluctuate here. I probably should have done a how-to on how to set this. But all you do is just hold this down and it changes it to Fahrenheit as opposed to Celsius. When you first turn it on, this is the only button that lights up. So you're going to hold that for 2 seconds and it'll go in. Click the Celsius Fahrenheit, the up and down button to change it, hit the clock, and that'll change your time. So I'm going to do the 375 for 50 seconds, just like any other press. You will see it fluctuate here and there. So last night, what I've been doing is dropping my tumblers into cold water. It doesn't seem to affect the color at all, and I know some people do it because they say it makes the color more vibrant. I do it so I can peel my image right away. So I have a bucket over here instead of going to the sink, and I'm going to drop them so I can peel it right away and we can see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the one direction. I'm going to do the opening first with my tape facing up. And I'm trying not to go right to the edge. And as I said, I have the pressure pretty heavy on this, so we're going to see how this works. So I'm going to do the 50 seconds and then we're going to rotate and try it again. I use these little cheap tongy things. I realized that when I was using the heat gloves, they were leaving like little red material, lint thingies all over the place. So I no longer use those. I use these, and I can go right from water to dry. Just make sure that they're dry before you touch your tumblers with them. So this is almost done. The whole plan to this is if I want to do if I want to make something on the go, then I can do this. And this is a smaller footprint than what my air fryer is. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to flip these around. So I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to turn it so it'll be seam facing down. And the mouth now is facing my door. You can see obviously the steam coming off. And like I said, it does smell. It almost, I don't even know how to explain it. It almost has like a perming smell, like you're perming hair or something. But it's pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out when it's done, drop it into the water, and then we are going to try the one in the shrink wrap and see how they come out, and I'll drop that one into the water too. Like I said, I've had problems with the shrink wrap, so I actually did cut a piece of copy paper and put it at the bottom in hopes that that doesn't adhere. I'm not leaving it in this as long as I do the air fryer, so hopefully I won't have that issue. Right now I'm just looking to get the pressure and everything okay. So here's this. I'm going to dump it into the water like I said. I do have a bucket next to us. And now I'm going to put this one in. Like I said, seam side up. Mouth is here. This is the one that has the shrink wrap. Obviously this is cold, so I don't really need these. But this is the one that has the shrink wrap in it. And we're going to go ahead and give this one a try. While the other one cools off a little bit so I can actually touch it. And then I will show you what they both look like. So I have, like I said, a bucket here with water, plain water, and a towel so I can try to flip that right away. So this one's almost done. As you can tell, obviously this goes significantly quicker. I wrapped the 3 tumblers, and it's going quick, as opposed to when I do it in the air fryer, which is now I'm at 2 minutes and 47 seconds in an air fryer, and then I flip and rotate and do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this. So now it is seam side down, mouth facing the door, and we are going to do that again for another 50 seconds. I'll dump that one in the water, and then we will pull them all so you can, sorry, I'm moving off, but I'll pull them all so you can see what they look like and if there's any difference. So I noticed when I did the masking tape ones in previous videos, when I did them in the standard mug press, the tape almost left lines. So we'll see if it does it in the Tumbler Press, if it leaves the lines or not. I'm not a fan of using masking tape or painting tape. It tends to get kind of sticky for me and I don't like it. So the shrink wrap has been working out, but the supplier I was getting my tumblers from is no longer doing tumblers, and I was getting my shrink wrap from her with the tumblers. So I'm going to put another sheet of blowout on this because I really don't want the stickiness on my press from this. So we're just going to go ahead and put that on there, and we're going to put this one in, same thing. So I try to keep my exact same pattern every time. So if I look at it because I am sidetracked doing something else with the kids or something, then I know wherever my mouth is facing, I know that's my first press. If it's facing the door, then I know that's my second press. So at some point I'll try it with just one press. I haven't messed around with this yet. This is obviously the second time I've turned it on. So, as I said, last night I did it with 2 presses, and it worked out okay, other than the 2 little spots that I had that didn't come out as bright as I would like them to. So, I will do some research and see what time and temp I need to do to run them, to try to do it where it's only one. Even with as tight as I have it, there is still a gap. So, I would say I'm probably at about 1/3 of an inch gap on this. So you would think that the heat would go through the entire thing and warm it up. So we're going to go ahead and finish pressing this. I may have my husband put some more duct tape on this because you can kind of see it here, that I think they call this conduit or something, but I'm going to duct tape this because it kind of is in the way when I'm flipping. I could flip from the other side, but my ET 15000 is over here. Everything that I'm doing right now was printed on koala paper. I run Hippo ink in both my 2720 and my ET 15000. I've only ever run Hippo ink in there. I use color corrections, which are also on my YouTube. So like I said, ET 15000, koala paper, that's what I ran for everything that I'm doing today. So we're going to go ahead, and it looks like this one's almost done. So we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we're going to put that in the water. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave this on because I'm hoping to finish the video and get to some other ones. So I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see me unwrapping these, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unwrap the first one I did. I have the door open, and I'm in upstate New York, so it's a little cold right now. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap this one. So we're going to see how this is. Hopefully the time and the temp and everything was fine. Since I just did 3 of them in a row, I'm going to grab a pair of scissors to, I know I have a pair around here somewhere. Okay, can't find the little ones, so I'm going to do really carefully is just try to cut that, which didn't work so well. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. I think it needs to go longer. It does not look like it transferred as good as last night's. And it is sticking. So as I said, last night was the first time I turned it on, and I did the 50 seconds. So I'm almost thinking that I may up it to at least 55 seconds and see if that helps at all. So I'm gonna run some water on this to try to get everything off. So color wise, it's alright. Definitely not as vibrant as last night. So I definitely would go either a higher temp, same time, but you can see here that it is definitely lighter than the one I did yesterday. You can see here, obviously it, like, you know, the ink leaked to the bottom. I'm looking for the spots. So it looks like there's one little spot here and one here. So, I mean, tightness wise, that didn't seem to change it at all. Let me pull the one from yesterday so you can see what that one looks like compared to it. All right, so this one was the one from last night, and this is the one from today. So I don't know if you can tell really in the camera, but I can definitely see the color difference. This one was from last night and this one was from today. So I would probably go maybe 4 or 5 seconds more, or go up a little bit in temp, because there's definitely a difference in the way that looks. So now we're going to pull the shrink wrap one, and we're going to see how that is. Like I said, I hate the shrink wrap that I got. I'm out of what I was getting, so I've been using this crap that I got on Amazon. I'm going to get in trouble for saying a bad word, but anyway, so I did put a piece of copy paper at the bottom to try to catch it so it didn't melt to the bottom of the tumbler, because I have not been able to get it off on any of them. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I dumped these in water to stop it from processing, and made it so it should be easy for me to, my hands are freezing, sorry guys, it's, like I said, upstate New York and it's 30 degrees out, and I have the door open. Yes, I have heat down in my basement, but I have the door open because I have the press going, and like I said, it really does smell. I'm hoping that over time that it starts to dissipate. This is only the second time, like I said, using it, and it's still pretty strong, so I'm going to run it for a while today and hope that that helps to get rid of some of the smell. I don't want my kids down here if the smell is going to be like that. So this one in the shrink wrap, if I can actually get it off, like I said, my hands are pretty cold. The shrink wrap sucks. Even going down the seam on the shrink wrap is still horrible with this stuff. So this one I can definitely see pressure issues. Usually when I bake in my air fryer, I use silicone bumpers. They're the protective bumpers, not the bands. I use silicone bumpers, and I will grab one so you can see what that looks like. I use that on my tops and my bottoms over my shrink wrap, and my tops and my bottoms come out phenomenal with that. I mean, I'm trying to make it so I can use this and not have to, you know, take my air fryer and the shrink wrap and the bumpers and everything else. So I'm trying to eliminate some steps and make it quicker. But I've got to try to get this adjusted, or figure out how to get the pressure better, or figure out if there's another way to press these. So I'm going to finish unwrapping. It's going to take a while, and then I'll show you the next one. Okay, so color wise, the color I think is brighter on this one than it is the one that I didn't use the shrink wrap on. Like I said, I used the same time and temp on this one. So the shrink wrap definitely kept more of the heat in, which was good. I can see just a couple little spots at the top that are a little light. I mean, not too horrible. And like I said, this design is fairly forgiving also. I don't see too many on the bottom. The bottom looks pretty good. It was just the top that looks like it has some issues. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull, and you can see the color here. Obviously, this is red. I didn't do any black designs, not until I figure out the pressure and the right time and temp and everything like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the one with the masking tape. Like I said, this one's not my favorite, and we'll see if the masking tape left any lines like it does on the regular mug press. I used another fairly forgiving design on this one, and we'll see how this one works out. I can definitely, so, I mean, I'm peeling it, and it doesn't look too horrible. Like I said, as I'm working with this, I'm trying to use designs that are forgiving, that won't be as bad. Definitely probably should have gone higher for temp or longer for the time, because I can definitely see the color in this one. So it looks like the shrink wrap, if you're going to shrink wrap it, I think it would be okay for that time and temp. But if you're not going to shrink wrap it, I definitely would up your time or your temp, because the colors aren't as vibrant. I have a couple other ones to do, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to finish wrapping this one, or unwrapping this one, and then I am going to run a couple more through altering the time or the temp on it. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. But you can definitely tell this is a fairly bright design, and it's not as bright as I think it should be. I have another one in this one, so I'm going to alter the time and the temp, and I'm going to run this one through again to see how it does and if it's any better. So I think I may go up in time. So usually I have a towel in there, but I don't have one. But this, like I said, this camo design that's on here is usually a pretty bright design. I mean, even for camo, it's usually brighter than this. So I'll run another one through so you can see what it looks like. But my color is definitely not as bright as what it should be. So I'm going to give that a change. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there, you can actually see the lines from the masking tape. Like I can see them here. I don't think anybody else would be able to tell, but I would not use that method because, like I said, I can see them, so I won't use them. I would not suggest the masking tape, but that's what it looks like with the masking tape. And I mean, if someone looks really, really closely and they know what they're looking for, they would definitely be able to see them, but I would never use it on mine going forward because I don't like the way that it looks. I like them to be very clean and smooth lines. So I'm going to wrap another one in this camo design, and I'm going to alter the press to see if I can get it to come out more vibrant. All right, so I changed my time to 60 seconds, and I changed the temperature to 385. I'm waiting for it to come back up. I have the door open, so I think it's going to be a while. The timer will not start until that comes up to temp. So what I'm going to try to do too is when I lied. I changed it to 390. So what I'm going to do is, like when I do it with a mug press, I move it down to try to get more pressure on the top. So I'll do that when I flip it around to try to get more pressure onto the top, because it looks like I'm having an issue with the top. So we're going to go ahead and do the 60 seconds for this press. I'm going to rotate it and flip it, but I'm going to try to move it down a little bit towards my press, because that's going to be the bottom when I flip it, to see if I can get a little bit more pressure onto the top part of the tumbler. Like I said, the bottoms have been coming out okay. I'm doing this design, so I'm doing the camo backwood design on it to see if it comes out any better with the higher temperature and the higher and the longer time, to see and like I said, I used the masking tape on this, and I would definitely not do that again. I do not like how the masking tape leaves lines on there. I don't know if everybody else can see them when they do it, but I don't like how it looks, so I won't use that on my tumblers. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to flip this, and as I said, I'm going to try to do it where my bottom is down further and my top is up there. So hopefully I don't have an issue with the bottom since I'm flipping it. I still have the door open because the smell is still pretty bad. I'm trying to keep the smell out of my basement. I don't know if I should put up some kind of an air purifier or ventilation system behind this. If it was summer, I could do this in my barn, or I could do it outside, but right now it's cold, and I don't want to bring this outside because it's going to be fighting against the 30 degrees that it is outside to try to get the press up to temperature. So we're going to go ahead and dump this in the water just like I did the last one. I'm going to peel it. I didn't use any kind of overwrap, no shrink wrap, no nothing. I just used the heat tape and the blowout paper. That's all I used on this one. Like I said, you can see it's at 375 right now, and I had upped it to 390. So I'm going to go ahead and as I said, I did 390, and I did the 60 seconds. You can see obviously the fumes coming off, but I'm going to dump this into the bucket to try to cool that down, and then I will show you what it looks like compared to the other one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this. I mean, it's still a little warm because I'm just leaving it in long enough to lower the temp so I can pull it fairly easy. And of course I put my scissors back. So let me grab those. If you're using scissors, just be careful. Usually I use the small Cricut scissors, but they're in my cash box. So when I go to events, I have scissors and tape and everything like that in my cash box with me. And we're going to see if this is any better. Ooh-wee. And that is sticking bad. I'm going to have to clean this. The color doesn't look much different. I'm going to have to get a rag to wash this off. I could probably try less pressure, but so I'm going to finish peeling this, and I need to get a rag to wash this off because you can see how that's stuck on there. It doesn't look burned, so I'm just going to grab something to wash that off. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to use the same water. I'm just going to try to wash this off, see if it comes off and it's smooth, and make sure there isn't any issues. with the top and the bottom. Especially since it's comparing apples to apples, but I mean, it doesn't look like the color changed at all. I mean, the top and the bottom, I don't see much of a difference at all with changing that. We'll put them side by side and see if it's any better. I don't like how, so the bottom did not come out good on this one at all. And this is the one, like I said, I moved it up to try to catch more of the top or bottom. And I definitely don't like the bottom on this one. I mean, it's a camo design, but it still is not a very good bottom at all on this. So here's what they look like side by side. I mean, the color is a tad bit different. This is the one that was in the masking tape with the lower temp. This is the one that I did with the higher temp. The pink is, I mean, pretty much the same on both of them. They look almost identical. So it's not much of a difference. I mean, like I said, I can tell the difference. This one has the masking tape because I can see lines on it, where this one doesn't have the lines. Also, so when, like I said before, that I use bumpers. So the bumpers that I use are these. So they actually have a bottom, and they use these. So basically, they're meant for tumblers, and they are used, so if you drop them, it protects the bottom, but they're silicone, just like the silicone bracelets. I use them on the bottom of them when I put my stuff in the air fryer. Even with the shrink wrap, I put these over there, so that way I don't have a problem with my tops and my bottoms. I've got to figure out the press, because as of right now, I mean, it's not giving me a better finish than what I'm getting through my air fryer. And I need something that I can take with me. But like I said, these are the bumpers. Anything that I do for kids, the kids' water bottles or anything like that, I'll get these bumpers on there because kids are notorious for dropping them. On regular tumblers, I put the rubber stoppers on the bottom. But I use these because you don't have that clinking. I use these in the air fryer and on any of the kids' stuff. So that was 3 different ways to wrap this, and altering the time and the temp and everything on there. So I hope that helps, guys. I will put the links to where I got the tumbler press and everything. I still have to mess around with it some more. Like I said, this was only day 2 for me. So I've got to figure out what my sweet spot is for time and temp and pressure and all of that sort of stuff. But as it stands right now, I like my air fryer better, but I think the best color wise was shrink wrapping it. My color from last night is still good, but I thought there was less light spots on the top and bottom with using the shrink wrap with it. So I hope that helps, guys. I will put the links to where I got the press and everything like that in the comments. Bye, guys.